The true definition of plyometrics, in essence, it states that it deals with the muscle and some kind of measurement and activity. But in essence, we can say that plyometrics is different kinds of jump activities for the arms and or legs to make them more explosive or to get a more explosive body. This, in essence, is what we mean by plyometrics. Plyometrics has a relatively short history. It originated with the Soviets back in about 1958. Verkhoshansky was the gentleman who developed what we call a depth jump, which we'll be describing or talking about later, and different kinds of jump activities. He was looking at triple jumpers one day, and he said, you know, the way they take off, every single step is very explosive. They hit and really seem to take off instantaneously. And that gave me the idea to use various kinds of jumps to develop the reactiveness of the muscles. And this is really the basis of plyometrics and what makes them more explosive and quick and fast. In the United States, we have only begun using plyometrics in maybe the last 5 years, whereas the Soviets have been using it for many years now. And Fred Wilt is the person who coined the term plyometrics. There's no such term like that in the Soviet language. There they just call it speed strength training, which I think is more descriptive of what plyometrics is. It's a combination of speed and strength. But in the last 5 years, plyometrics has gained quite a bit of popularity, and I hope it'll increase more and more because it is very, very effective. A person can have a great amount of strength through the conventional training programs that we have in the United States as well as anywhere. Just the lifting of weights will make you stronger. And strength is related to speed. You must have adequate strength, and the more strength you have, the faster you will be, but only up to a certain point. After a while, the strength training has a negative effect. It will make you slower, because in order to develop maximum strength, you must use maximally heavy weights. These weights, when you lift them, when the actual movement is very slow. And the slower you move as you lift these heavy weights, the slower the movement. Your nervous system is, in essence, learning slowness. So you won't be getting faster or quicker. And to do this, we have to use plyometrics. And plyometrics is the key to explosiveness. But first, you need a strength base. You cannot do plyometric work without first developing an adequate base of strength. Plyometrics is very demanding. And when you do plyometrics, you will not lose strength. See, many people think you have to keep lifting weights to keep strong, but it's not so. Plyometrics will maintain your strength, but because it is very vigorous and very taxing on the body. And if you don't have this strength, you open yourself up to an injury. So it's very important to get strong, then do plyometrics, and you become very explosive. They follow in sequence and overlap to a certain extent on different regimes. The competition between the Soviets and the United States, of course, has been going on for many years, probably starting with 1952, when the Soviets first made the big splash in the Olympic Games. Starting with 1952, they have put their scientists to work because they wanted to be better than everybody else in the world. They copied what everybody else in the world was doing, and then they went to their researchers and said, okay, how can we be better? The exercise physiologists, the doctors, the biomechanics people. And with this, they developed a very scientifically based training program. And this has been the key to their success. It has not been in drugs, not professionalism or anything else. It is the way they train, and it's quite a bit different from what we've been doing in the United States. In fact, I can say that there is no single method of training in the United States. Everybody does his own thing. And what I hear from the typical coaches and people in the United States, they say, well, this is the American way, which is great, it's the American way, but it sure is not the way to develop a high-level athlete. So these are some of the latest innovations. And again, you can find it in here as well as in the Secrets book. Both of them cover quite a bit of these different types of training.